All right, hello everybody. Welcome again to another live stream on English. As always, my name is Hamza, and I will be here as your host and your guide on today's live stream. And I would love to welcome people who were with us in the last couple of live streams. I'm not sure if they are here with us today. So if you are watching this live stream, make sure to say hello in the chat and let us know that you have joined the live stream. Today I've came back to live streaming from the computer because for the last couple of days I've been streaming from my phone. It was an amazing experience that probably we will adopt on in the channel, and yeah, but we'll keep streaming this way as well. Yeah, so if you are here, say hi in the chat. Let me see who is here with us today. I got to know some amazing people in the last couple of live streams from my phone, and it was such an amazing experience. So, can you say hi in the chat? Let me see who is here. Let's do something. Type the last emoji in your suggestions. All right, so let's do it this way. Can you type the last emoji that you have on your like your keyboard? So in the chat, write for me the last emoji in your suggestions. Just open emojis like you wanna write an emoji, and the last emoji you have used will be there on the suggestions, and share that with me. Let's see what kind of emojis are you guys using. Uh, as I said, last couple of days I've been just like streaming like very openly and from my phone. I really like the experience, but I think we will keep both formats. So we'll the casual format, just like chatting through the phone, and we are going to keep the other version, which is like this one, where we do listening and other types of live stream, like test your English or um, yeah. All right, Lisa's here. Sorry to tell you, it's not good to always change time for you for our lesson. I totally understand, Lise. I totally understand. The only problem is that I sometimes I'm traveling, and for the timing, if you are talking about the day, some days I'm traveling, and for example, on Tuesday I was traveling at night, and for the time, it well, there are some changes in my country for the timing. That's why we like last time I missed the lesson. I'm sorry for that. But Lise, you should know something. I shared a like a notification on the channel. I shared the notification. I said that the time will be changed from Tuesday to Wednesday. I actually did that, and I streamed two times. I streamed on Wednesday and on Thursday. Unfortunately, maybe some of you missed it, did not see it. Um, but yeah, I did. I did like notify you guys on YouTube. As I said, sometimes I'm either traveling, there is an occasion, I'm not always available. It's like life happens sometimes, you know. Um, uh, Life can be unpredictable sometimes, and there is some issue, something that just happens, and you need to go to attend to it. So I told you, oh, quite sleepy today. Sorry for that. I told you guys on the channel that I will change the timing from Tuesday to Wednesday just for this week. All right, so I'm waiting for other people. So please, is here. Uh, who is here with us also? Share with us who is here. Say hi in the chat. Let me see who is here. Let me ask you this: what is the convenient time for you? What is a good time for you for the sessions to happen at? And by time, for example, today we are streaming at 9. Right now it's 9 p.m. GMT. What about you? So, what time do you think is convenient for you? Sometimes we can just like talk, and uh, we'll try to like find the convenient time for everybody. Today I had a long day, unfortunately, so I'm quite sleepy now. But of course, I didn't want to miss my session with you. Okay. To my side, it's 9 p.m. It's 11 p.m. You're talking GMT? Are you talking GMT? Talking GMT time, right? GMT. Or maybe we can discuss this at the end of this live stream. I'm gonna write it somewhere, and we can discuss it at the end. Okay, for now, let's start what we have today. So today we are gonna do a listening live stream. Christian, I'm listening to you from Salto in Uruguay. This is my first time. Welcome, Christina. Welcome from the Uruguay. What time is it there in the Uruguay, Christina? So as I was saying, uh, today we are going to have a listening live stream, and it will be about the philosopher Plato. So as we always do in our live sessions, we will have quizzes that we can use to see what you guys already know about the topic, and then we are going to do a listening. We are going to do to listen to a chapter from the video from our channel, and after that we will have some questions, and yeah, so I think we can start, and then you will see for yourself how amazing the session will go. Plato, let's see what you guys already know about Plato. So quiz: where was Plato born? Athens, Rome, or Sparta? So Plato is a philosopher. I'm not sure if you know anything about him. If you know anything about him, drop it for me in the chat. If you know anything about this guy, his ideas. Hello from Korea. Hi. Hello from Morocco. I'm saying hi back from Morocco. I hope someday I'll. Korea is one of the city, or one of the countries that I'm really hoping to visit one day. So, where do you think Plato, the character that we are going to talk about today, lived or was born? Athens, Rome, or Sparta? Can you write for me in the chat A, B, or C? So where did he live, or where was he born? As I said, he is a famous philosopher, but I want you guys, if you know anything about the guy, drop it in the chat. Lisa's A, Athens. Yeah, I really need some sleep today. All right, it is Athens indeed. Absolutely. He was born in Athens. And we will see in today's listening how important was this city. Number two, who was Plato's teacher? And Plato's teacher is also a very famous philosopher. Was it Socrates, Aristotle, or Pythagoras? So, as I was saying, last time we had an amazing live stream. It was just from my phone because my computer charger broke down, just like refused to work, and uh, we had so much fun. Actually, the live streams were very like spontaneous, and we had a lot of talk. It was just like open talk, and I personally enjoyed them so much. A. So for Elise, it's Socrates as well. So A again. All right. So for those of you, by the way, for those of you who probably are seeing this channel, like Christina, for example, who are seeing the channel for the first time, Woo English is a channel dedicated to learning English through stories, right? And so we believe if you want to learn a language, you need to like expose yourself to that language so that you will get familiar with the language. And one of the best way, he was born in Athens, you're a little bit late. You need to expose yourself to please, the person from Korea, can you scroll to the end of the video, because I don't think you are watching us live, you are watching us a little bit late. Please scroll to the end of the video. As I was saying, Wu English is a channel where we teach you English through stories. Today we are going to see the story of Plato, and through the story of Plato, we will learn some English. We will improve our listening skills at the same time. And also, if you have any questions, I'm here to ask them. Like even if they are not related to today's topic, okay? And in the end, of course, we'll have a discussion as we always do. So discussion, you get to talk. All right, I see more people joining. Hi. Um, if you are watching this, you are watching an amazing listening live stream about Plato. And today, so you're going to learn some English, learn about the life of this guy, Plato, and we can have a discussion. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them for me in the chat, and I will be more than happy to respond. To B. Aristotle. All right, I gave you so much time that you had to change your your decision. It's Socrates, actually. So your first answer was correct. What did Plato believe in? Shadows only, perfect forms, or material things? And I'm going to explain these, but just guess for the time being, because for me, a quiz, you either know or you can guess. This is a quiz for me. This is a pre listening. We do these quizzes before we listen. So you either guess, just guess, all right? Or you can have the information already in mind, because if I explained it, then you understand it and you know exactly um, uh, the answer. Now in Uruguay, it's 18. It's quite suitable for me. Wonderful. Was Greek, born in Athens. Christina, wonderful job. Wonderful job. Great. All right. So, what did he believe in your opinion? Shadows only, perfect forms, material things. This is this. I'm going to explain the question, because these options are what, or one of them is what Plato believed was the nature of existence. So for him, is existence only a shadow, or is it made of perfect forms or material things only? We're going to see these things later on when we are listening, by the way. Socrates was Plato's teacher, absolutely. Fantastic. All right. So don't forget, please, to subscribe if this is your first time, like Christina. Don't forget to subscribe. You will absolutely enjoy this channel. We post one video every single day, and in each video, there is a long story that you can listen to while you are doing your chores, or like driving, or hello. I mean, how are you? It's been a while, man. My man, it's been a while. He believed in perfect forms only. What is the philosophy of Plato about? Making money, asking questions, giving answers. So, according to Plato, what is philosophy? Is it making money? We do philosophy to make some money, to like hit the bank, as some people say, or to ask questions, or to give answers. So what is in these three, or out of these three, what is the main purpose? Okay, I mean, I'm good too. I'm good too. So is it C or B? I mean, B for you. I think that was your last answer. Christina, what do you think? Same for Lise. Where is Lise? What do you think, Lise? And the person from Korea, what do you think? I'm sorry, I'm calling you person from Korea. You can write for me your name because I can't pronounce or I can't read the Korean letters. Philosophy is between B and C. Some say that philosophy is the journey to find the truth and answer, and I do believe in it. In this, hmm okay. But for Plato, philosophy was about asking questions. It was not about answering. It was about asking questions, and this is very interesting because sometimes we think that philosophy is about like finding the meaning of life or finding the meaning of things or the nature of different concepts. But then Plato came and said, well, actually, philosophy is about asking questions. It's not just questions, but asking the right questions. All right, asking the right questions. What is Plato's legacy? And before you answer this question, let me explain to you what his legacy. What was he known for? What is one thing that he did that he is still known for until today? War. Was it what is a temple? A temple is a place for worshiping. It's like a mosque or like a church. It's a temple. War. So is it that for you? I mean, a temple, a war, or a school? What about the other? So for I mean, it is a temple. So for I mean, the most important thing that Plato did was a building a temple, and for Lise, the most important thing that Plato did was a school. All right, so I'm gonna reveal the answer. The answer is simply a school, actually. So he built, or he made a school, and actually, there is a very famous painting. If I'm not mistaken, it's by Michelangelo. I'm not sure, but it's I think by Michelangelo, and it is this one. So it's an image of the Academy of Athens, and today I chose to talk about this exact chapter in the life of Plato, the chapter where or when he built a school or started a school where any philosopher from all over the world can come and can discuss their ideas, and of course, like Plato believed, can ask questions. All right, and that's for Plato. That's the most important thing. Philosophy for him is about asking questions. All right. So today we are gonna listen to this. The video is, of course, on our YouTube channel, woenglish.com. We post one video every single day, and the video is 1 hour and 1 hour, right? And I decided to only listen to about 10 minutes of it, right? Which is one chapter. So we are gonna listen to this chapter, and then I'm gonna ask you questions. As we always do, let me go back. I need to. Uh, okay. I forgot. There are some words or some. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna skip this. I think. All right. So yes. So we are gonna listen. So listening, and in listening, I have, as always, three rules. Rule number one: listen carefully because I'm gonna ask you some questions. Number two, while you are listening, if you don't understand something, please make sure to write for me in the chat, and I'm gonna be more than happy to explain it to you. And number three, don't forget to click that like button, check for me if it's working, and I think now we can start our listening. I had to skip some uh, some activities, just like because they are not as important as the listening itself, and I don't want to bore you guys. So let's listen to the chapter.
And so his body rested, but his spirit kept moving. Chapter 6, The Academy.
Great. So this is the chapter we're going to listen to. It's called the Academy.
A dream becomes a school, and a school becomes a legacy.
Right.
Plato was home, back in Athens, the city of marble and memory, of questions and sorrow, the city that once broke his heart. But he was not the same man now. He had walked many roads.
So just to give you a brief, summary of what happened before this chapter. Plato is in Athens. He studies under a philosopher called Aristotle, and then he left Athens, and now he is coming back. He came back to Athens.
He had spoken with kings. He had studied with priests. He had listened to the stars. And now he was ready. He remembered the promise he made the day Socrates died. I will not let your voice be forgotten. That promise was still burning. So he searched for a quiet place outside the city walls, where olive trees whispered in the breeze. And there, in a soft green garden near the shrine of a hero named Academos.
A shrine is a place dedicated to a person, right? It's a place, but it is dedicated to a person.
He began to build. No stone walls at first. No great buildings. Only a group of curious minds. A circle of young men. A teacher. And his questions. He called it the Academy. Here, there were no rulers, no kings, no gold or glory. Only ideas. Here, no one gave all the answers. Instead, they asked, what is truth? Can justice be taught? Is the soul born wise, or does it learn? Plato sat with his students under the trees. They debated. They argued. They laughed. Sometimes they sat in silence, letting their thoughts rise like smoke into the sky. It was not like other schools. No simple lessons, no strict rules. It was alive, and it grew. More students came, more minds opened. And Plato, he kept writing, scroll after scroll.
So basically, Plato started a school, and the school was not like what we have today. It's like a teacher and students listening. No, it was a school for debate. and for open discussions in the open air.
Dialogues, full of questions and dreams. He wrote of love, of courage, of the perfect world, the world of forms. In that world, he said, everything is pure, perfect beauty, perfect justice, perfect good. This world, the one we live in, just a shadow, a reflection, and the job of the philosopher to turn and face the light. Plato taught them the famous story. Imagine people in a dark cave, chained, watching shadows on the wall. That's all they know. Then one person escapes. He sees the real world, the sun, the truth. He comes back, tries to tell the others, but they laugh. They don't believe him. Plato would pause here and look into the eyes of his students. That man, he would say softly, is the philosopher.
So let me explain to you this image, and I'm gonna explain it through an image. So he said, imagine this is people. This is like us in like on Earth, and this is so we are in a cave, right? And all we can see from the outside world are not the real objects from the outside world, but only the shadow of those objects. So if person and one person manages to go outside and say, hey, what we see on the wall is not all that exists. Actually, those things are simply a shadow of real objects that exist outside of the world. And so the person who will go out is the philosopher. So the philosopher will go and like discover the reality of things for Plato. This is a very famous allegory.
Many listened. Some changed. Some would one day become teachers themselves. One of them, a boy with a sharp mind and a questioning heart, would later become famous too. His name? Aristotle. But in those early days, Plato did not care about fame. He cared about the future, about planting seeds, not just in the earth, but in the soul. The academy became more than a place. It became a movement, a light in the dark, a voice in the silence, a place where young minds could dream without fear. And Plato? He watched it grow. He saw young men become thinkers. He saw questions turn into ideas. He saw sparks become fire. Sometimes, he would walk through the garden at night, listening to the wind, and whisper, "Socrates, can you hear them? They're still asking, still searching." He smiled, because he knew his teacher's death was not the end. It was the beginning. The academy stood for many years, long after Plato.
And this is what Christina here shared with us, which is that the school actually lasted 800 years. I didn't know this information, and I will be honest. I didn't know how long it lasted exactly.
Was gone. Long after the olive trees stopped whispering. But his words, his lessons, his questions, they lived on. And they still live. Now, because every school, every library, Every place where someone asks, why, carries the flame he lit. A dream becomes a school. A school becomes a legacy, and a legacy becomes immortal. Chapter 7.
All right, so that was it for chapter 6, because we didn't want to listen like to all of the story. So let us go back to the questions. True or false? Let's see um, um, uh, if you were listening well. So the first question is: Plato stayed away from Athens. Is this true or is this false? So he left Athens and he never came back to Athens. Is that true? From the text that you guys just listened to. Plato, false. Amin says false. Amin is the only one who was listening. Were you guys listening? Lise says false as well. Great. All right, let's check the answer. Yes, absolutely. He returned to Athens, meaning that he left Athens, but he returned to it later on. The academy had no kings. The academy, which is the school that Plato started, had no kings. And by the way, this is the school. This is a very famous painting. I think I said was painted by. Let me check. Because I can't. Who painted this? Raphael. All right, Raphael, not Michelangelo. Yeah, it's by Raphael, by painter Raphael, because I know. Let me show you. It's a very big. It's a huge painting, by the way. You should know that. Let me show you. It's taken a whole wall, by the way. It's like on a whole wall. Yeah, so this school, it had no kings. Is it true or false? He came back to Athens absolutely for the previous one. Amin says this is true. Let's check. Yes, it was about ideas, not about politics, not about like responsibility and so on. Plato taught strict rules. In this school, in this academy, they had strict rules. Is that true or is that false? False, says Amin. Yes, his school had freedom. So you are absolutely free. And even for the way in which they taught there, it was not through teaching, like you have a teacher and he teaches you, but rather it's through dialogue and discussion. All right. And Plato himself, he wrote a lot of dialogues between himself and his teacher. The world is perfect according to Plato. They lied under trees and asked themselves no rules. Absolutely. How cool would that be if it was a school? If like our school system was like this, hey, you just lay under trees and you just like ask random questions. All right. I think students would have loved that kind of school. Um, yeah. I, I think that kind of school would have worked. All right. I mean agrees. Yes. So only forms are perfect, as I said before. Plato imagines that the world that we live in is just a shadow, a reflection of a more perfect world. So the only thing that is perfect are forms, right? Forms like a circle, and so those are the only things that are absolutely perfect. Yes. Plato's school died with him. When Plato died, his school died as well. Amin says no doubt about the previous one. False. All right, let's check. Yes, it lived on. Like Christina said, 800 years. Direct questions now. Maybe we're going to answer just some. Where was the academy built? In a palace, near a shrine, inside a cave? B, near a shrine. Exactly. Lisa as well agrees. I mean, and Elise. Yes, near a shrine. And as I said, a shrine is a kind of like a place to uh, worship a god or worship a person even. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Let me see. I'm looking for some pictures. All right. This is believed to be the place where Plato's academy was, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. It's believed it was here, like in this place, a long time ago, of course. What did students often do? Fight, memorize facts, debate ideas. I would love a school where people would fight. I'm a teacher, and I would be so freaking entertained. Like, all right, come in. Let's say, all right, today we have three fights. Let's see whose turn is it to fight now. Great. I mean, at least as always, like killing it. What story did Plato tell? The cave, the flood, the train. From the text we listened to. I'm moving a little bit faster because I wanna reach the discussion stage. For fighting, the students will watch the show in the corner. Oh hell no! I mean, oh hell no! I would love to watch as a teacher. You guys do all the fighting. I will be teaching you how to fight, and you can fight, and I can watch. It was the game, absolutely. Who became famous students? Socrates, Aristotle, or Homer? Homer, by the way, is the writer of the famous uh, Iliad and Odyssey. Yes, I mean, yes, Aristotle. His teacher was Socrates. What did Plato write? Novels, dialogues, or maps? Just wait for us. Be patient. We are coming. I'm going faster so that I can reach the phase, which is like the discussion. Is the grandfather of Aristotle. Yes, kind of like as teachers. Yes. So Aristotle or Socrates taught Plato, and Plato taught Aristotle. All right, dialogues. Great. We reached the last phase because I really wanted to reach this phase. Uh, so in Plato's academy, people would just sit under trees or sit in the street and then start discussing. There was uh, uh, no classroom, no school, no rules even. Even the rules, there were no rules. And yeah, so the question I want to ask is the following. Do you think schools today should be more like Plato's academy? Meaning they should be, so we should teach students how to ask questions rather than give them answers. I hope the question is clear. Do you think schools should teach students how to think or how to ask questions rather than how to answer them? I'm not sure if this discussion is clear for you. You can read it on your own time and at your own pace and tell me. You try to answer it for me. Do you think schools today should be more like Plato's academy, focused on questions rather than answers? Because for Plato, the most important thing about about philosophy is not giving answers, but rather asking questions. Which is a very interesting point of view. So, what do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. For me, I think it should be both. To be honest, it should be we should teach them how to ask questions, but at the same time, we should give them answers that we have already found. Like there are some stuff that will not change. For example, the Earth is a sphere. This will not change, mostly. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Lise. So Lise says, I think schools should learn or teach learners how to think and find solutions to problems. Uh, how to find solutions, not how to ask questions. So for Lise, they should know how to solve problems, not how to ask questions. And I kind of agree with you. But asking questions is also a very valuable uh, skill. I mean, yes, I appreciate the way Plato taught his students. That gives the student more effort and more ambition and curiosity. Although we can't stop all answers because men already found them. Exactly, I mean, exactly. So we both agree. Because, well, some questions we cannot find, we cannot, for example, why, I'm not sure, why is the sky blue? We're not going to ask this question again because we already know the answer. How do we get sick, or what is the cause of certain diseases? Some diseases we already know the answer, so it will be just a waste of time to start asking them again. Yeah, so I agree. What about the rest of you guys watching this live stream? Do you think schools today should be more like Plato's academy, focused on questions and not answers? And this is like a very, very like this is a question that makes you think, right? Because mostly, and I want to ask you another question, by the way. So let me probably. Today's students are lazier than early time. I totally agree with you. I'm a teacher, and I doubt students would be interested in asking questions or giving answers. They are not interested in neither. They are not interested in none of them. Like they are neither interested in questions or answers. And this is a very interesting question, by the way, to to discuss. Yeah, let me speaker. This is another question. It's also about Plato School. Would you enjoy a school with no grades, just deep talks, just conversations and discussions and debates? Would you enjoy this school or no? Where there are no grades, no exams, um, no testing, no tests, no quizzes, just deep talks. So, what do you think? Talking about enjoyment, Amin says, talking about enjoyment, of course, um, but we need jobs and professions, and exams are a necessity. All right. Can we do without exams? Is there a way in which we can delete exams? How can we get rid of exams? Because I think we all hate exams, and I'm gonna tell you a secret. Even me, or even us as teachers, we don't like tests. We absolutely don't like testing. We don't like testing students. So, is there a way in which we can uh, uh, remove tests altogether? I don't think so, Emin says. Because the most important thing, well, you can have debates and discussions, but the question remains, how are we going to test if you understand or no? Because this is the most important thing for any teacher. Uh, it's whether you understood or no. Or maybe you can have like a discussion or debate with the teacher, and that's your way of debating, of graduating. So when you finish your school, and school was all just discussions and debates, you can just go to your teacher and you can start like having a discussion and an open discussion, and that's all. All right, so I don't see a lot of engagement today. I'm not sure why. But okay, I think we come to the end of this live stream. I think we can stop here. Amin says debates are the pure and the most effective way to learn and teach. I totally agree. Sometimes if you want to know if you understood something well, wait. I mean, I'm gonna say a little bit just to answer your remark. If you want to know sometimes if you understood something, you like you try to ask yourself questions about it, or you try to explain it to someone else. I'm gonna repeat. If you want to know if you understand something, sure. If you want to know if you understand something well, try to explain it to someone, and then you will see if you really understand it, or if you just don't really understand. You just have like a vague idea about it. I think that's the best way you can do. Yeah. So sometimes, if I wanna like know, like this is in the past when I was still studying, still student, and if I want to know if I understand a lesson well, I either explain it to my classmates or I try to explain it to myself at home. I try to act like I'm explaining it to someone, and then if I fail to explain it, I know I don't understand it well. Have a drink, Alexa. You need to have a drink. Yes, I think so. I feel very tired right now. I'm honestly very tired. I think it's very clear. It's very apparent. So yeah, uh, yeah, I have more people joining. Welcome, guys. You came around the end. But do you think we is there a way to remove tests? This is the question we are talking about. Is there a way in which we can remove tests? We don't like tests. I'm a teacher. I don't like tests. I don't like correcting tests. You are students. You don't like to revise. You don't like to be like stressed with all the tests and like all. How can we remove tests? How can we erase tests? No more tests. How can we do that? Exactly, I mean, exactly. Sometimes you can just like have that discussion in your head, in your mind, and you can learn from that. So how can we remove tests? No more tests. How can we do that? Can you give me a suggestion? I don't like tests. You don't like tests. How can we? What is the solution then? I totally agree with you. I mean, even when I live streamed just from my phone, I had a lot of engagement compared to like normal sessions. So I think you guys just like these open conversations. Uh, do you like tests? I know you don't. How can we remove? How can we get rid of tests? How can we get rid? No more tests. How can we do that? Other than Amin. So Amin said probably there is no way, or probably we can discuss and debate. What about the rest of you? Do you think there is a way or no? No more tests. I hate tests. I do. I mean, as I said, I'm a teacher and I hate tests. Um, but is there a way? Maybe like I said before, maybe we can have like a discussion, and through that discussion, I can know if you are good or no, if you don't, if you understand well or no. Or like I said, if you want to test yourself, you can try explaining the topic to someone. If you wanna know if you understand a lesson so well, you can try to explain it to someone. If you can explain it to them well, then you understand it. If not, then you don't understand it so well. You need to revise it some more. Can tests be an oral test like a debate by testing how the students? Let me share your answer. I mean, can test or a test can be an oral test like a debate by testing how the student is good in a subject. Exactly, exactly. That's what I suggested. It's just like a discussion with the teacher. But the problem, well, when we do tests on paper, I can test 40 people or 50 people at the same time. But if I do a one-on-one discussion, I can only test one person at a time, and that will take a lot of time. For example, if every student takes 5 minutes, all right, 5 minutes, then the whole tests. If you have 40 students, let me count it. Let me see. So if you have 40 students, because in Morocco we do have 40 students, we have more actually, multiplied by just 5 minutes, just like let's say each student will take 5 minutes, it will make 200 minutes, and divided by 60, so it's 3 hours. All right. So if I want to test 40 students, uh, yeah, let me see. I don't like long tests. I always have my short summaries. Exactly. That's the best way. That's the best way to make your own summaries. As I said, if you are if you are if like me and Amin suggested, if we want to make like oral tests, if you have 40 students, then you give each student 5 minutes, the whole thing will take 3 hours or 4 hours. So unlike a test, if you test them written, you can do the whole class in uh, like 1 hour, and you don't do any effort as a teacher. All right, so I think we stop here. I'm getting so sleepy. So thank you so much, guys, for today, and I see you next week. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful